Well, Bobby, welcome to Illinois. I'm super excited to have you here.
Thanks, Coach. Good to be here, man.
I think about this journey, right? So I think we first competed against each other when I was a head coach at Wisconsin. You were at UNLV in 2010 probably. Obviously, that's when we first met, but then obviously shared ties on the AFCA board. Fellow head coaches, I know you stepped away after UNLV, and that's kind of what the birth of today is, right? The chance for you to go to San Diego State and learn this defense. Can you tell me how that started?
Well, I've been a head coach 20 of the last 23 years, and for me, defense has always been kind of the passion, even though I've been involved in the other two phases. And this defense was always intriguing to me. I coached against it, watched the offensive coaches struggle year in, year out. So I wanted to learn it. I love defensive football, and this is the most fun defense I've ever coached.
If I could sum up to the fans out there, right, like we've been traditionally a three down. We run a lot of 3-3-5 ourselves, right, but it was a different configuration, different philosophy. Maybe in a short nutshell, kind of envision what we've talked about and what you think Illinois can have here moving forward in this system.
Well, I'm excited to say this to the players as well as, people who watch football, they like the excitement of it, and a lot of that means the offensive side of the ball. And my impression is defense can be exciting too. And this is an aggressive attacking defense. It started way back with a fellow named Jolie Dunn. He taught it to Rocky Long, and Rocky's taught it to some of us that have worked for him, studied it for many years. And this will be an aggressive, attacking, exciting defense to watch.
Bobby, one of the things I've always said as a head coach, right, like we all recruit, we all develop, right, but every year the player strengths kind of change and adjust according to who leaves and who comes back, right? And I've always said good coaches take advantage of the strengths and minimize the weakness of their players, and that's what's intrigued me with your defense, right? The evolution that you've seen it go through just to play to the strengths and how that strength may change year to year based on players. Going
down and meeting the players this morning and being able to see the body types and watch them move around and all that. The best thing about this defense is it's malleable. It's got a lot of flexibility. You can use a lot of different tools that guys have. It allows you to recruit great athletes and then plug them in and let them go. Kind of the NFL model that we all grew up with. You had certain guys and certain body types at different positions. This defense allows players to go and do things that they do well. The coverage structure changes with the game plan, but the front calls and the movement piece are all based on what your players on your team do best.
For me, a head coach to teach the defense to his staff, how then they teach it to the players is everything. Can you tell me how that kind of evolved?
Having the background education, whether it's family of educators or lawyers or degrees in that field, I've always felt that the best coaches are good teachers. The players, when they come in, they learn a lot of different ways, and we have to use all the different mediums. So they're taking notes, they're writing things down, they're reading their playbook, they're studying film, they're getting on the board, they're doing all those things. But I'm a real believer in walking through, getting out and doing it. So you go from the meeting room to the film to the walkthroughs to doing it. And I think repetition is the key. And the more time we can have with our players doing that stuff and being on the field with them, the better we're going to be.
I listened to your presser, right, when you stepped down, and some of the things going around college football that we as head coaches have to deal with. One of the reasons I called was really, I see some of those things you're going through, especially at a non-Power 4 conference, right, like the way rosters can be rated in a short amount of time and all the influx of what you had. And that's when I made the call and kind of reached out and said, would you be interested in being the defense coordinator here for a variety of reasons? I guess what made you buy into this moment or this opportunity?
Well, a couple of things. One, I like the fact that the players are getting compensated for what they do. What I didn't like is all the ancillary stuff and being a prep school for others. But we're all susceptible to that. So 20 years as a head coach is probably enough for me. Didn't really know what I was going to do. And then when you called and said, are you interested in doing this? I think the primary thing is, you are one of the best head coaches in all of football. My observation, both as competing against you to watching you in person now, is you're masterful at multitasking. It's what the job requires. And, just a chance to be at Illinois in the Big Ten Conference and working for for you is that's a winner for Bobby Hauck.
You know, I find this interesting, right? So we've known each other for a long time. When I saw your wife at the convention, Stacy made reference to, in our younger years, how we spent time together. And one of the things that's been awesome for me, I know your son played for you at Montana, to have your wife from there as well, right? And the selling point that I tried to use in the stretch here was, I know you have 3 daughters in Dallas. We got direct flights from Champaign to Dallas every day. Can you talk to me about your family and what it means, to have them with you on this journey?
Yeah, it's as you know, it's everything. Your kids are a little younger than mine are.
We did it in reverse order.
Yeah, exactly. But it's as you know, Stacy, and from your own experience, having a good partner in that makes everything good. It's really an interesting thing for me to leave home. I mean, I'm a third generation alum of that university, but change is good. You can't do it forever, and coming here and having the family all be on board with that was really a big deal. This is a family place. It's the atmosphere in this building screams family, from the players to whoever I've met so far, and it's just a great opportunity to join a different family.
I was going to ask same question, 2 different perspectives, right? I'm a player in the system that Bobby Hauck and the defense staff is going to run here at the University of Illinois. What's one thing I'll be able to take away beyond football in the Bobby Hauck defense?
Well, you're going to learn several things. You're going to learn work ethic. You're going to learn toughness. You're going to learn to persist when you've got adversity and to fight through things. And I think that those are all traits that we in college football develop. But in this defense, I mean, our guys are going to learn to be relentless. We're going to chase the ball. Our pursuit will be nonstop. We're going to play every play like it's the most important play of the game. We're going to finish every play. And then, you and I watch a lot of ball at all levels, from high school to pro football. Tackling won't be a lost art at Illinois. We are going to be a good tackling football team.
Same question, kind of different view. I'm a fan. I'm at the University of Illinois, so we've won more games here in the last 2 years than any time in program history. We've put together 6 straight semesters over a 3.0 GPA. We've done a lot of good things on and off the field. What, as a fan, will I be able to appreciate about watching our defense?
I think you'll love watching how our defensive guys play together, and the passion and excitement they have for the game and for each other making a play. We're going to be excited about making plays for the Illini.
I would also say, in addition to your scheme things and what we've talked about, one of the things that really gathered my interest to you as I've watched your career advance, like you've been in the playoffs now 13 times, right? The last several years we've been knocking on the door, but we want to knock that door open, right? And can you tell me some of the experiences you've had in the playoff runs that can help you as we move forward here?
Yeah, well, we have to do it. It's fun. Playoff football is great. Everybody involved will be excited about it. It's interesting how the mindset changes. You get through the conference schedule, and you're doing all that work every week to get there, and then it's win or go home attitude. It's really a fun, exciting time, and it's always about it survive and advance. It's kind of like the NCAA basketball tournament in that regard. Never anything wrong with being in a playoff game. I
think a great story that some of the Illini fans might enjoy. So a year ago, I reached out to you. I was looking for a special teams assistant. I reached out to you about your son, right? And he turned me down a year ago, went to Portland State, right? And you and I talked at that time like, I wish he'd come here, right, as we go forward. So when this began to evolve, I was trying to reach out to you, I guess it was Friday or Saturday last week, and I couldn't reach you. And the phone kept going to voicemail, and I'm like, man, I got to get hold of this guy. I'm trying to see if I can get him in here on flight on Monday. And I called Robbie, and Robbie's like, Coach, he's being one of those old retired football coaches. He's at his favorite fly fishing hole, and you can't get reception wherever that was. Where was that at, and what were you doing?
So I was up Rock Creek in Montana. It's about 45 minutes from the university. I was with my brother. And the best thing about a lot of those good fishing spots is there's no cell phone service. So I had a good day of that, and then ended up getting a hold of you and found out it was time to go to work.
Well, I think it's awesome because we don't have much fly fishing in Illinois, but we do have a lot of bluegills, some crappies, and some
it's
other
all
fish.
Good, man. Fishing's fishing.
I think people will be lining up to take you fishing.
Sounds good.